All right. We are live. We are live back up in here. Shout out to everybody in the building. Do appreciate each and every one of you for coming on through. You already know the deal. You know the routine. Make sure you hit the like button, whether you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded. We're going to be joined by Hood Servant. If you see the title, you see the thumbnail. So you see what's going on here. There's a situation where I don't know why this kind of reminds me of the Andrew Tate situation, but it's completely different. But yeah, more or less though, a chick that was on some very thirst trapping type stuff, some very thirst trapping type stuff on the internet, became an advocate for sex trafficking. Apparently, that's the thing. You can do both of those at the same time. You can be a thirst trapper and a sex trafficker advocate and all of that. You could do that. You could do that apparently. And so that's that's what homegirl was doing, and she was as I understand it, and I'll get more info from this on Hood Conservative. I'm kind of new to the story, but as I understand it, she was a regular she was on Tim Pool's show. She was on Tim Pool's show and got called out for it. He kind of put a cape on, as I understand it. We'll get into more details on that. And I guess through a lot of pressure, Tim Pool had to quit. So we about to get into a lot of different things regarding all of that. So strap on in. Let's get ready to go. Let's get ready to go. See people making it in the building. So we about to get this thing going. But make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
What's good? What's good, everybody? Let's get this thing going. You already know the routine. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Shout out to everybody in the building real quick. You know we're going to be joined by Hood Assertive. He came through, dropped the first comment on it, said, Hoes mad everywhere. Hoes mad everywhere. Shout out to Long Tong Song in the building. Thank you for that $10 cash app yesterday, by the way. I don't know if you caught it on the air when I thanked you for that one, but he says, some folks, let me make that bigger so I can see it. Said some folks in the conservative space are trying to avoid this topic. Is Elijah capping or using it as a grift? Right there on that statement right there, because I don't know. Hood Conservative is, he keep his ear to the streets, and he put me up on all the stories and whatnot. So I'm actually going to bring him right up to I guess address that particular comment when he's saying that that a lot of people in the conservative space are let me see, hopefully I can still hear when I do that. He said a lot of people in the conservative space trying to avoid this topic. Is that correct? Oh, you're still muted.
Yeah, what's going on, man? I don't know how much it's being avoided. It's not a huge story. It's not like, listen, we just shot down a UFO over Alaska. That's a huge story. But this is not.
Hold on. I thought it was a China surveillance spy hot air balloon.
By definition, it's a UFO. I'm not saying we blew up aliens, but by the textbook definition, we don't know what that shit was. We just shot down over Alaska.
Yeah, see, I'm with the big homie Neil deGrasse Tyson, even though he sounds a little crazy on Valuetainment when they was asking him about the vaccine. It's a little feedback. I'm gonna hit mute on you real quick. It was a little feedback. I am with Neil deGrasse Tyson when he says that he makes it very clear UFO does not mean we're being harassed, abducted, and probed by little green men who came here to harvest our brains. Like it literally means some shit was in the air and we didn't know what it was. The shit could have came from Russia, China, Wakanda. We don't know. We just saw some shit in the air. It's in the title. UFO means unidentified. We don't know what the fuck it is, so we can't then start saying aliens. So I always have to make it clear that. But damn, that's a whole show. That's a whole show though. But go ahead. I'll unmute you. Hopefully, whatever that background noise was, it was like some little echo feedback when I was talking. It's like I could hear myself or something when you was unmuted.
Still,
yeah, it sounded like you got
yeah, something in my settings. I tell you, I was up all night trying to reset and come back on my headphones. I mean, on my my cell phone. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. I shout out to people that made it in bright and early. I think Mike understand me. Unidentified flying objects. Unidentified flying objects. Shout out to all of y'all in the building. Come on, make sure you get on in here. Make sure you hit the like button. But yeah, I'll look at some comments while we wait for Hoodservative to get it together. I'll interact with the folks. Says I was wondering when. Hold on, here. Damn it, I gotta get this together. Okay, I was wondering when she was gonna bleed over here. Her ass has been all over hippity hop. Yeah, see, I don't know nothing about. I was this is new to me. This is new information to me. I'll just say that. It's new information to me. Because Hoodservative keep his ear to the streets on everything, particularly stuff. You got to listen to more than just black shit to get a full perspective on things. So he be catching stuff going on over on that side of the aisle. But shout out to TBE Trucking in the building. Shout out to Free Zone Lou in the building. Says let's get out. Fire salute every. I think he means let's get it. He said let's get out. Let's get it. Fire salute everybody. Shout out to Deacon Dave in the building. Says the membership grifting is random. This time it pulled TD Hutch out of the clouds. Membership grifting. I don't even know what you're talking about right there when you say membership grifting. What is he talking like? It's aspects of this story. See, I knew you might get it. It's aspects of this story that I don't understand. We're gonna check and see if Hoodservative is back with us and see if the echo went away. But what is he talking about when he say membership grifting?
I'm not sure either. I just dropped down for a second, so I'm a little bit behind in the conversation. But let me say this and try to just flesh out the story a little bit, right? So Eliza Bleu has just sort of made herself popular on Twitter and in social media as a woman who is fighting sex trafficking, right? That's like her shtick. That's her claim to fame right now. So she goes on the Tim Pool show a couple of times, at least twice. I think Tim Pool says she's been on twice. And she goes on there to advocate for her cause, fighting sex trafficking, which is, supposedly it's a noble cause and all that, right? Well, as it turns out, she claims to have been a victim of sex trafficking herself, which is probably why she, joined the cause. Now, when people start to question her story, what they found out is that this alleged victim of sex trafficking was in fact basically an Instagram thought, a world star hip hop video vixen. You guys remember that video vixens? She was one of them, and she after she got put on blast.
Hold on. I'm behind. we that far along in the era where now the video vixen is not a thing no more? Is like what, just IG thought? Like we don't even call them video vixens?
I mean, hell, music videos ain't even popping like they used to be back
They
in the
not,
day.
are they?
So yeah, no.
Yeah, they don't sit there and put millions of dollars into music, into videos no more. I remember Hype Williams. Okay, anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But I remember P Diddy used to drop like 5 million whenever a video came out. Shit looked like a
YouTube niggas
goddamn.
done ruined it, bro. If you can do this with your iPhone, then you don't need $1 million budget.
Yeah. So that kind of killed the video vixen. But all hell rise to the Insta thought. But anyway, go ahead, carry on.
So she got exposed as an IG thought. Like, hey, it's weird that you're fighting sex trafficking and you're kind of selling sex too. It's a weird game to play. You're selling sex, but you're fighting sex trafficking. So guys were calling it out, and she responded by basically getting channels flagged and videos removed. And so there was a particular world star hip hop music video that she was in. I actually saw her. I think it was, you guys remember Vibrant Thing, Q-Tip? I saw like an 8-second clip of her, and that song was playing in the background. And I'm like, was she in the Vibrant Thing music video? And now after everybody done tracked down her thotty past, she mad and she trying to get people struck off the internet. And hoes mad. That's what mad hoes do. But the interesting thing is, because Tim Pool basically put her on his platform, because Tim Pool's got one of the bigger shows on YouTube, right? And he puts her on the platform, and so now basically he has to kind of own his piece of making Eliza Bleu a thing. And so people in his chat start calling him out. People in his own chat were super chatting to talk shit about him. And he was spazzing. It was great. It was lovely, bro. I loved it. It was an epic meltdown.
You know what's funny? See, I thought only black people did that. Like, let's just say if I,
Nah.
endorse a chick over here, like for example, Shay Sade. She my channel was one of the first channels in this space that she, got a big interview on. So I was, but so it's like I'm kind of connected. But so if she go left and just unzip from her, outer human shell and just go full sisterhood and Cynthia G on somebody, it's like people gonna circle it back to me. Bernard, you gotta hold the L. You brought her into this space. So it's like that's
well, no, but then see, that's the only proper thing is to disavow. Meaning,
yes.
I brought her in, but the bitch went left. It's not my fault she went left 80 years after I brought her in. Tim Pool didn't want to do that. Tim Pool got asked directly to disavow her, and he was like, fuck you. And now they super chats and just go ham on him, bro. It was hilarious.
So he didn't own it. Was he? And we got clips on deck, but just a little teaser trailer. Was he kind of like making excuses for it? And whoever that is in the back, whatever admin that is, I think, start putting up the banners in the shit right now. Yeah, you in the back, because I don't think that's RM. I think that's the other admin. Start if you back there, put up the banners and have some shit scrolling. Yeah, because I don't like to even play with that stuff because I can't do two things at once.
So you building a little workforce over there, man. I see you got my eye on you, player.
I got unpaid black women working for me. I just tell them what to do, give them a pat on the head, don't pay them nothing. It's like it's perfect. Yeah. But anyway,
don't give the game away too much, but I know.
Yeah, slave labor. All right, thank you for putting my cash app down there. Appreciate it. All right, so. I can quit bullshitting like that, but no. What was I saying? Damn it. So we got clips on deck. But I'm just get the teaser trailer for that. Was he putting a cape on for it? That's what I'm getting at. Was he basically on some, trying to pretend like it was nothing, or was he just basically saying?
At first, he tried to downplay her, like she's a nobody who's not that important. I don't know why you guys are coming, like looking at this story or whatever. And then I think I sent you this video as well. A couple days later, after his audience revolts and they super chat and talking shit against him, he's like, you know what? Yeah, this is kind of wild. Like he's totally doing a mea culpa. And he's backing off like, you know what? Yeah, she's getting channels banned. She's going on a censorship strike. Like, this is a little bit nuts, right? So he has been forced to kind of come clean a little bit. But in the meantime, I don't know if I sent you the email, but I do. Let me see if I got the tweet pulled up here. He put out a tweet recently about basically he's shutting down Timcast, which is like his big channel, his biggest channel perhaps.
That's wild. That is wild. And see, my thing is this. Okay, well, real quick. To what degree was she on his channel? She just came on for an interview here and there, co-host, working behind the scenes.
No,
Like, to
just a
what
guest.
degree? What'd you say?
Two-time guest. A two-time guest. That's pretty much it.
Okay, so I mean, under the normal rules that, yeah, you know, if you have a chick on your show twice and she go left, and yeah, you know, she turned out to be something else, then yeah, that that's the rules of the game that's been set up. That yeah, you gotta hold the L. You gotta acknowledge that yes, I brought her on. Yes, I gave this person airtime, and this person turned out to be, you know, a piece of shit. My bad. You know, yeah, you got to own that. Yeah, if you try to put the cape on for it, now you're complicit with all of it. You know, in a space for men, somebody being trying to engineer and facilitate or promote the whole idea that men are out here trafficking and doing all sorts of crazy stuff, but at the same time, we know the deal. You know, we know the deal that, you know, it's coming. It's playing out the way that we say it normally plays out. Where this chick that's talking about trafficking and all of that, she was in the sex industry. She was in the sex industry, essentially. You know, she was selling her sexuality. That's probably the most politically correct way I could say it. She was definitely selling her sexuality. Now, essentially charging up men on a macro scale with sex trafficking. Now, I was about to pull up a video, but I think you got one you ready to go right now. So we'll work with that one. We'll let you. Oh, hold on, it ain't coming up. Which one were you trying to play the link to the first one you sent me? Because I got that one ready to go. Oh, are you there? You muted. You muted and potentially froze. So let me get ready. Let me pull this link up. I just I was talking about yesterday. I put it on members. I got to put it on the Patreon eventually. The Good Morning America guy, he basically people on the staff, I believe it was, they came out and said that everybody was screwing everybody, but they tried to make it seem like the men were basically abusing the women. That's how they tried to spin it and tried to sell it. So the story is always essentially different. Now we got Hood Conservative back on here. You got two links down there at the bottom. I mean, it's like two of you, and then there's it looked like a video you was trying to bring up. Yeah, and it looked like that ain't working.
Yeah, my signal is choppy right now. But no, I was trying to share the screen just to show you Tim Pool's tweet about shutting down Timcast.
Okay, we'll pull that up in a little bit. Real quick before we go roll some footage. You good with the first clip that you sent me, the first one in order? That was
Yeah, pull it up.
Yeah, okay, cool. And Deacon Dave says membership gifting. I gifted a membership. Oh, I said grifting. I'm sorry. Okay. I think you're saying you gifted a membership on my channel and that made somebody come out the clouds to receive the gift. Okay, understood. My bad. I be off sometimes. I know I know sometimes reading ain't fundamental to me. So I apologize. I will skip a whole letter, sometimes a word. But you said you gifted a membership, not grifted. Okay, my bad. All right. So let's go ahead and roll the not so beautiful bean footage. This is the first video. I believe this is one where he was basically responding to initial critiques. So let's roll it.
Some lot of drama comments. Let's start reading them. Jimbo says, so many came here to spread hate, not realizing their views and commentary help boost the algorithm for old Timmy boy. You don't like it, watch something else. Otherwise, you're clowning yourselves. Well, I appreciate the super chat and appreciate it. And then I put up a poll. And I said, smash the like button if you don't trust Eliza Bleu. And 89% said, I will like because I don't trust her. That means everybody who smashed the thumbs down trusts Eliza Bleu. All right. Well, that was an interesting, it's 13,000 votes. It's interesting to see that so many people came here to support her by giving us a thumbs down. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. A lot of people do support her. Scroats McGoat says, last night as a member, if Tim doesn't disavow Eliza tonight, get the out, Scroats McGoat. You can cancel right now and see you later. You will never wave money in my face and make me disavow anybody, especially someone I care so little about, Eliza Bleu. She's been on the show 2 times. If you're going to cancel because I won't do what you say, you shouldn't have been here in the first place. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. All right, what else do we got? DJ Zeno says, unsubbed on members only after over a year. Here's $5 FU for you know. I'm pretty bummed. Thought you stood against censorship. Hope you change. See you later, buddy. Look, sad to see you go, but I will never cater to a mob. And that's it. End of story. Eliza Bleu is not important. She's not important to me. She's not a member of Congress. She doesn't enact policy. She is a low-tier internet personality that for some reason people are desperately obsessed with. And I literally don't care. So have a nice day. I got to say this.
All right. So just in case people didn't fully catch what was going on there, that was his audience basically saying, you brought the chick on, you brought this chick on your show and she turned out to be something that was she turned out to be pretty anti-man and contradictory. You know, what do you have to say for yourself? And he's basically saying, yeah, he's damn near just saying fuck you. Where he could, okay, it's not his fault that he didn't. Well, let me back up. Let me back up and ask you this question. When he brought her on, what did he bring her on for? Did he bring her on to basically talk about her advocacy against sex trafficking or whatever? That's what he brought her on for? Conservative? Oh, I'm up here by my damn self. And
yeah, I'm back. That is basically what he brought on for. Yeah, the whole you know, and that's how it is when you got like a thing that you get popular for, and somebody has a show, a bigger show. They invite you up to talk about what you're doing in your field, and so that's what she was doing there. And then people just, I guess, before she even made it on Timcast, she was already a little bit like an internet figure. So people had already started to get sick of her before she even made it to Timcast. So once she got up there, I guess a lot of people started digging into her, and then boop, World Star Hip Hop came out.
So bare minimum, he could technically be like, I'm not about to yield to a mob, but yeah, I did bring a sketchy person up here. I didn't do my research. The internet did the research for me and found out that this person was sketchy. She's a thirst trapping, sex trafficking advocate. And that's a little sketchy thing. That's sketchy. You're a video vixen. You sell sex. You do all the whole thing. But then you're advocating strong, staunch down against sex trafficking. So it's like, yeah. So they caught her in they caught her in some BS, and then they asked him. They basically call him to the carpet to say, hey, explain yourself. You brought this chick on. It's a simple thing. Hey, I didn't do my research. Brought her on. But let me ask you this about Tim Pool, because he'd be over there on that side. Now, Tim Pool, he like supposed to be some kind of, I mean, I don't know that much about him, but does that even line up with what he typically do? Bringing on somebody who's a sex trafficking advocate against sex trafficking? Does that really line up with what he do?
He has like a wide variety of guests there. Mostly like it seems to be slightly left leaning, but he will have like conservatives up there. He has different a nice potpourri of different kinds of guests up there. So this isn't like out of character or anything for him to have her up there. It's just that most people had no idea that she had so many skeletons in the closet. And then when her skeletons came out, she basically went on a censorship warpath. She's damn near redefining the term sexual exploitation. She's basically trying to say that the videos that she took of herself, or videos that she took when she was like in some kind of, professional modeling situation like the World Star Hip Hop or being in a music video. She's saying those images now, if you share those images, you're trafficking her against her will. That's what the hell's going on here. And that's why Tim is looking crazy now, because it's not just a matter of, oh, well, I'm not going to disavow her because y'all mad. It's like, bro, do you see what she's really on? You're not going to disavow that at all. Okay.
Yeah, no, I see that now. Yeah, I see that. Shout out to Ray Arthur in the building. Says she wants to now change it. This is what you were just referring to. She wants to now change it to digital trafficking, basically. They keep getting fast and loose with that word. She wants to change it she wants to change it to digital trafficking. Basically, pics and videos that she gave consent to show, but others can't share, even if it's on the internet. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. And I guess that's a good summation of what she's on and what she's doing. But all right, let me roll some more of the not so beautiful being footage.
If someone got banned off Twitter or any platform for a reason other than violating the terms of service, that's a big deal and should be taken up and will be if it happened with the Twitter administration or the administration of the social network. But the personal stuff it's like, no offense, TMZ garbage. It's like National Enquirer. I mean, if you like it, oh God. But there's a lot we can build.
Questioning you.
I don't care if people care about this stuff. They're allowed to. But like the idea that people are going to come here and threaten, like, I will cancel my membership because you're not talking about someone no one ever heard of. It's like, dude, I get that you know who she is. But you know what's funny about Jack Murphy and Eliza Bleu is that here's what happens. People ask questions about these personalities. And I know most people listening are like, I have no idea who these people are. And that's exactly it. We had about 40,000 peak concurrent viewers. We get, 300 to 500,000 video viewers plus 100,000 on the podcast, and then about 1 million across the clips. And the people who watch have no idea what the people in the chat are talking about when it comes to Eliza Bleu or Jack Murphy. In fact, John, do you know who Eliza Bleu is?
The only reason I knew is because I saw you guys talking about it one time.
One time we mentioned.
I never learned about her organically. No.
So what I think is going on, to be completely honest, is that the people who are claiming they hate her are actually probably a paid reputational firm to promote her. So that's why I brought this up last week. There are companies you can hire that will spam the internet to generate buzz and attention for you.
Did you say something? Are we still rolling?
Yeah. He's basically, hold on, no, he's basically saying that all of his critics, all the people who've done their internet sleuthing to figure out, like, nah, this girl's full of shit. He's trying to say they're bots now. You're basically saying that they're paid bots now. Like you just call your own audience paid bots, and that's a problem for your audience.
Yeah, I've said it once. I said it. It was a completely different context when I was saying it, but yeah, you go to war with your audience, nobody wins. It's like that's just if your audience is bringing a concern to you. I mean, unless it's something that's just integral to your hardcore beliefs and values that you standing on, is that's a pointless fight calling them bots over a chick who's flagging people for sharing her videos and images that was free on the internet, that was freely put on the internet. Yeah, that's a stupid move to go to war with your audience on something like that. Stupid move.
There's no such thing as bad press. Mm-hmm. So when I see people like flooding our comments and saying things that aren't true, like I'm canceling my membership, I can see who's canceling their memberships. Like I own the website. And this past week, we have gained slightly more members than we normally gain. And it's probably because the guests we had on last week or whatever, and Jack Posobiec, maybe he's a great personality. And so we gain several hundred per week, and we gain a little bit more than that on average, with people coming in claiming that they're canceling their memberships. Maybe they are, but we're gaining more than they're being canceled. I think that many of these people, I think two things are happening. One, a lot of it's inorganic promotion of Eliza Bleu. A ton of content flooding the internet, bringing up a personality no one's ever heard of, makes her instantly famous to even the likes of, 9-time Grammy nominee John Rich, who's not heard of her. Mm-hmm. That's the point. They want us to talk about her because they're being paid to generate controversy.
Yeah, hold on a second. Think about this. This is why he's getting in trouble with his own audience, right? You can't accuse people of being fake promoters of this girl when you literally promoted this girl twice now. You put,
Yeah.
listen, nobody would have known who she was had they not seen her on your like your highly popular, one of the most watched YouTube newscasts. Like his YouTube show probably gets better ratings than CNN, and nobody would have known about her. Well, a lot of people wouldn't have known about her, rather, had you not promoted her. And so now that it's blowing up in your face, all of a sudden it's like, well, this internet promotion is kind of shaky. I don't really trust this. You guys are just promoting her. Like, bro, really?
Right. Yeah, you made her famous, and then you complaining because she's famous. All right. Yeah. I mean, saying she's not that famous, but she's about as famous as you made her. But all right, let's roll.
They either want to. That's why it doesn't matter if we say anything good or bad.
Yeah.
If we say, look, we're doing the story, Shane Cashman's. Nope, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
We say, okay, we're not going to talk. Oh, nope, now it's bad. I think it's a PR campaign. In order, I think people are being paid to promote her.
Yeah, keeps you in the cycle, basically.
That's right.
Everyone
She's never been more famous because of this.
Exactly.
And so I'll be completely honest with the Shane Cashman story. I told Shane Cashman I didn't want him to do the story because he went from profiling Ye to Carrie Lake and now to a low mid-tier internet personality over that I just think the next he was supposed to be interviewing Andrew Tate. We reached out to Tate. As Shane mentioned, this may kill the story, and Tate said yes.
Real quick,
and so we were like, this is great. Shane writes tremendous.
Yeah, that Shane Cashman story. Apparently, he went to investigate all of the rumors about Eliza Bleu being a thirst trapper and an Instagram thought and whatnot. And he came back and said there's nothing to it. Nope, you guys are making it all up. He literally wrote a puff piece. So again, this is why he's in trouble. This is why the Timcast crew, basically Tim Pool, is in hot water here, because it's like you had all the opportunity to find out whether or not the accusations were true, and you sent your top dog out there, and he's like, no, she's cool. It makes people wonder, like, did one of y'all smash? It just makes people wonder. I don't know for a fact, but like, you start to ask what's going on behind the scenes here. Why y'all all quietly cape for her when it was so obvious something was going on?
Yeah. D Fitzer says you're promoting her now, to be honest, while trying to trash him. Do you even watch Timcast? Doesn't seem. Far as me promoting her now, if somebody is on some bullshit, particularly they're advocate against sex trafficking, but they're on they got a questionable past where they were selling sex, and then now because their questionable past is being brought out, now they're flagging they're basically trying to use dirty censorship tactics and change the definition of trafficking, saying people are digital trafficking her, and they're trying to promote that and they're trying to put that out there. Yeah, I'm going to push back against that. If somebody is doing bullshit like that, I'm going to push back against that. Now, a part of the story is Tim Pool being in some hot water because he's not willing to push back against it. So he's being criticized for not properly pushing back against the bullshit that that she's now doing because of her connection that she had with him. That's the part of it where he's kind of in some hot water. But overall, the bullshit that she's doing, oh no, I will always put a spotlight on those who are doing bullshit. I will. I mean, so there's a time and place for not giving anybody, any press. But no, if somebody is out there doing bullshit, particularly bullshit that harms men, no, yeah, I will speak up for that, because I view myself as someone who advocates for men. So if somebody's doing something against men, I'm going to speak up against what they're doing. So you're trying to say I'm promoting her. That sounds like a lightweight way of kind of trying to basically just get me to shut up. You're kind of doing what Tim Pool is doing, trying to just figure out a way to just get people to just not talk about the bullshit that's going on. which means you're kind of advocating for her, in my opinion. Go ahead.
I'd like to lean into the punch, Your Honor. I came up with this show topic. I was investigating. I've been keeping my eye on this story for like a week now, and I'm definitely promoting Eliza Bleu. Anytime I find hoes mad, I want people to look at it. Anytime I see hoes mad, I want people to point and watch. So yes, that's what's going on. Hoes mad, and we looking at it.
All right, got that cleared up. Let's go. He must ain't know this the this the Hoes Ain't Human podcast. I gotta get that clip. I gotta get that clip ready to go when that girl had on the
that clip is making its rounds.
I gotta have it on deck. She was like, "Welcome to the Hoes Ain't Human podcast."
I seen. You ever heard of Replicant Fish? He's like this black dude from the UK. He's got a channel. He just does content. He doesn't like do panels or whatever. But I seen him use that clip in one of his, because he does a lot of like in his videos. He'll splice in different video clips for like funny humor or whatever, and he threw that in one of his latest videos. I was like, bro, this shit getting around.
Yeah. I gotta get that clip ready to go. That was some funny stuff.
This work. I said, I don't think he should do it because clearly they're trying to promote Eliza Bleu. That's what this whole thing is about. She's never been more famous. Yeah. And I think it's beneath him. But he said, look, man, I really, really want to dig in and do the story. It's 80,000 words, is massive. And I'm like, look, man, you do your thing. I'm not going to tell you what you can or can't write. I trust you. At Timcast, we don't tell people they have to say something. They can't say things. Someone wants to post offensive memes on social media. I'm not going to fire him over it. Shane comes to me and says, "Is the story I got to tell?" I say, "You do your thing." But I'm telling everybody who's who's listening and doesn't know who this is, I will just explain. Right now, there's a massive campaign from high-profile personalities to promote and make Eliza Bleu famous. She has stated she wants to be famous, even to Shane Cashman, and so they're coming and spamming us with comments to force us to talk about her like we are right now to make her more famous. Yep. It's working. And I was like, let's not go anywhere near this because someone's getting paid. It's a PR stunt and it's working. Yeah. There you go, guys. I've addressed it. Have a nice day. And then all of these other people who I know, like
bro, you already helped her be famous though. Like it's such a silly stance to take. And then this is a dodge too. Nobody cares if a chick gets famous. Like, there's a bunch of famous titties on TV right now. If you turn on your TV, you see nothing but famous titties, bro. Nobody cares if titties get famous. Nobody cares about her being famous, right? It's not that she wants to be famous. It's why. It's how.
That is a good point for the people that like to derail or get in the way of men speaking up against men, speaking up for men against the bullshit that women say. They like to always say, y'all helping these women get famous. Y'all promoting them. They don't need our help. They was already there. They women, and the internet exists. So that's always a very contrived deflection tactic or a very contrived way to just try to get men to shut up on the internet. Y'all promoting the women. That's basically them putting the cape on. You know, that's how some people put the cape on by trying to say that you're gonna promote these chicks and make them famous by talking about the bullshit that they doing. So quit talking about the bullshit. Yeah, take your cape off. Yeah, all day.
Who have been members of this channel are saying like, why won't you get on board, bro? You are walking right into a PR game. I talked about how they do this. They're called reputation management firms. You go to them and you say, how much money to make me a star? And they'll say, we're going to do a two-front thing. We're going to say you're fighting a good fight, but you got controversy. That way we get you on both fronts. People will defend you. People will oppose you. And this will result in high-profile outlets. The Daily Beast will write about you. You're going to get a bunch of, grifter channels are going to start talking about you, drama channels, big YouTubers. We will make you famous, and it'll cost you $100,000. And there you go. Congratulations, everybody. You did exactly what the money paid for. And here we are addressing it just for you. Hope the money was worth it. All right.
So that's his final answer on, she paid money to get other than his channel. Where did she get I guess notable recognition from?
Elon Musk. I don't really know the full details of it, but she has some kind of partnership with Elon. I think it's tied to like the Twitter's anti-sex trafficking campaign. But because she's like promoted herself as like this blue-haired star of saving the children, she somehow worked her way into Elon Musk's circle, and now she has financial backing, I guess is the right way to.
Oh, okay. Okay. Understood right there. But he's not exactly in position to criticize people for criticizing if he was a part of that promotion mechanism. I'll say that. If he was part of that promotion mechanism, he's not in position to be criticizing the criticizers. I hate that. I hate the people that criticize the criticizers. Stop criticizing. It's a weird thing that goes on. Now it looked like we got another Tim Pool clip on deck, and I'll just kind of go in the order that they came. I know it was a few different takes on this.
Actually, let's drop that one because it's not that interesting compared to what I'm about to put in the back chat now. Let's move on to this clip of I'm dropping it right now. It's in the back chat. Your girl Candace goes in on the Eliza situation, and so I haven't listened to this one totally, so I kind of want to hear Candace's take on this whole situation. Which is another thing. Now that I think about it, it's starting to catch traction apparently outside of the Tim Pool circle. So if other YouTubers like the Quartering and it's the Quartering and a couple other people, but then Candace Owens is picking up on it too now. So apparently it's bigger than Tim. He couldn't keep the lid on it, so now it's blown up. But I'm curious to see what Candace Owens has to say about the whole deal.
Yeah, this is a short clip. I reckon she probably had more to say. But yeah, this one is pretty short. I watched this one, but I'll roll it real quick. Hold on, give me a second. All right, here we go.
So my suggestion to Eliza Bleu is that she gets a job, and that she stops threatening YouTube creators. Maybe she should start a YouTube channel where she talks about all of these things that she did and all the famous people that she met in Los Angeles while she was busy not having a job and hoping that she was going to land a rich, famous person. Maybe she should talk about that athlete that she dated, sell stories of him. People do that. It's a more respectable job. Why don't you start an OnlyFans? It's more respectable. All of this is a more respectable job than harnessing the real pain and suffering that some women go through, women and men go through, when their entire lives are stolen from them and they have no way out because they are being sexually trafficked. Honestly, Eliza Bleu, Eliza Knows, Eliza Stephen, Eliza Morthland, whatever it is that you're going by this week or the next, there is a special place in hell for women like you. So my suggestion.
There it is. That was Candace Owens' take on it. It's like I said, it sounds like she probably said a lot more leading up to that. Somebody just put the end of it, the hot take, the special place in hell part of it. But that doesn't really, flesh out everything that she probably had to say on that. So I don't know if you had something more to add to what she said there.
No, she basically told her to burn in hell, which is I don't think I've ever heard Candace ask somebody to burn in hell before. That's new.
Yeah. But what the hell? Are you talking about backshot business? Business and backshots? Okay.
Well, yeah, that's what that's kind of the secret about a lot of these boss bitches or whatever. There's a lot of ways to climb the corporate ladder, but girls seem to know the one.
We got a super chat coming in. Says, if the people who watch his show know nothing about someone who he's interviewed twice on the same show, the show's impact is much less than he claims it has. If the people who watch his show know nothing about someone who he's interviewed twice on the same show, the show's impact is much less than he claims it has. The show's impact is much less than who claims it has. I guess I don't understand what point he's making. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. Daryl 90210. But I don't even understand exactly who that comment is exactly directed at. I really don't. But thank you for the super
I
chat.
think he's just saying his audience doesn't pay that much attention. Like your own audience doesn't watch you that closely, apparently.
Yeah, but how does he substantiate that his audience doesn't know that much about the person? I mean, her level of famousness
Actually,
is kind of.
it seemed like his audience. Sorry, go ahead.
It looked like you went out. Okay, go ahead. It seemed like his audience what?
No, I was gonna say it seems like his audience knows more about her than he does. That's the irony of it. His audience did all the homework. His audience was waving red flags. His audience was, having a whole chat room rebellion against her.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like everybody is falling for the red herring of she's not that famous. It's like that's the red herring that he's putting out there. Her level of fame is irrelevant to it. I mean, she's a chick who's on the scene, who's connected with Elon Musk, who's been on Tim Pool's show. People pulled up her past, and now she's flagging a bunch of channels and shit, calling it digital trafficking and all kind of other stuff like that, while being the sex trafficking advocate who used to sell sex. I mean, so that's a red herring. Oh, she's not that famous. I mean, she's just recently made the news. Who gives a fuck how famous she was before she made the news? She made the news for doing some bullshit. Like what's like I don't understand why everybody is debating how famous she was. There's people who go viral who's not famous, but if they go viral on some fuck shit, people analyze it. So that's a red herring to get people debating about an aspect of it that doesn't matter. That's a red herring all day. But thank you for that super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Looking to pull up something else in regards to it. Now, no, you. I don't even think you sent me. Never know. It was a World Star video. Somebody actually texted me saying, "Don't play that," but I wasn't going to play that. I wasn't going to play that because I think that's the thing that's getting people stuff taken down. But you sent me
I would advise you to not. I would advise you to not play that World Star thing because YouTube took it down for a reason. Hell, I've had this problem with YouTube. Like, I will source a video from YouTube, right? I will play a YouTube video on my channel, and then they will like strike my channel for using the video, but the video itself is still on YouTube. It's a weird thing to do.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. That something that's on YouTube. I can see if you found it from Rumble or somewhere where the rules are different, and then you use it over here on YouTube, and then they struck it down. But if you use something that you found on YouTube, but it gets struck down when you use it, but the place you got it from is thriving, it's alive and well over there. Yeah, that does that does say something. That does definitely say something. But right here. So what we got here, I think this is a tweet from, I don't know who that umbrella guy is. He got a blue check by his name apparently. But it says, Eliza Bleu tries weaponizing men. And Shane Cashman seems to have said yes. Thanks to Timcast, Cashman for calling everyone part of the PSYOP. That's our favorite word now. Calling everyone part of the PSYOP and other shit for Blue. What a man. Said, and then Eliza says, I need brave men to stand up for me right now, please. I'm begging you. Calling all simps. Calling
Show
all
me
simps.
Your tits. show me your tits. I'll stand up for you. That is the price. All right, free titties. You want my defense? I need nipples.
Yeah, she basically pulled a calling all simps, a simp call to action thing. Men, please stand up. She put out the simp bat signal. She put the simp bat signal in the air for them. But as I understand it, Tim Pool, I think he turned around on it. If I think that's what you were telling me, he kind of turned around his position on it. He was trying to deflect away from it, but then eventually he he realized, I guess, for lack of a better way to explain it, realized the error of his ways. I don't even know if I got the right one ready to go.
Yeah, I'm trying to double check to see which one I sent you to make sure we got that clip. Because I know there was a clip where he finally did back off and was like, okay, yeah, my bad, y'all.
Where are we at here? I think we'll see if this one is it.
Damn, that sounds good. Sounds good. Eliza Bleu.
Oh yeah, it's the song.
They playing a damn song. They made a song about her. Like to hear it
Already.
go.
This had to be like an episode after all the everything blew up, and so he's got his next guest on talking about what happened previously. And dude's like some kind of famous musician, so he about to freestyle the Eliza Bleu acoustic guitar rip.
You're gonna get famous, and you will too. Eliza Bleu, Eliza Bleu. For $50,000, she'll make a fool of you. Eliza Bleu, Eliza Bleu. Johnny, you should write
Holy
a song.
shit, dude.
Turn lemons into lemonade and make a song about Eliza Bleu. Put it out for charity.
We should.
You should.
I'm gonna.
Okay. Okay, I guess that was weird. They still going with the weird narrative of she's going to get famous. It's I see that again. I see that as a weird red herring that they're trying to drag out there to, just get everybody to look at that. That is that's them basically saying that's their don't talk about it tactic. That's their shut up about it tactic. That's don't make it. That, I mean, honestly, I view that as their way of protecting her from criticism. That's really my general analysis on that. That's essentially what they're trying to do. They're trying to figure out a way to ultimately protect her from any criticism, because I guess protecting her from criticism, I guess that helps protect them from criticism. What'd you say?
Self-serving white knight. They're protecting themselves. It's a self-serving white knight.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I'm gathering here with that. That's sort of what I'm gathering.
I just dropped another link in the chat. That's the Twitter video where he's like, he finally admits there's something shady going on here.
All right. Let's go. All right, where the hell is it? I think this might be it. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I just dropped this from the post-millennial.
That's been gone over the past week, and we'll be as candid as possible. I'm sure we'll piss some people off, but we're gonna dive headfirst into the shallow end with this next story about Eliza Bleu, Chrissy Mayer, and all the stuff that's been gone over the past week. And we'll be as candid as possible. I'm sure we'll piss some people off. But we have this tweet from Chrissy Mayer. For those that aren't familiar, Chrissy Mayer is a comedian, and she hosts a podcast called Simpcast. And she's been on the show, I think a couple times, right? It's been a couple times. We've had her on the show before. And so there's been some controversy related to a guest we had recently, Eliza Bleu, and some censorship actions that she.
Did you catch that?
No, what happened?
A show called Simpcast? Why didn't we think of it? Why did we let a white girl come up with this first? A show called Simpcast? Oh, the Black Manosphere needs a show called Simpcast, bro. Yo, we need see. This is why I said I'm stealing all y'all bitches' best work. We bringing this to the Manosphere too. We need a Manosphere Simpcast Sunday. We're like dudes get up there and tell their worst simping stories or whatever, or we clown a nigga who was simping uncontrollably. Some kind of way we can make Simpcast happen in the Black Manosphere.
Yeah. I mean, we've done similar shows like that where people came up and told their simping stories and whatnot. But the thing about doing that is people will use them against you later. So it's like you can never, it'll never work. Now it'll work if we get actual current card carrying simps to come up and do it. Jerome D says symposium. Yeah, we've done we called it a sympathon, but simpcast, no. That's a new one.
You know what? Actually, let me put on my evil genius hat. Jackie Jack, this could be for you, Jackie. This could be how you get your $1 million off of YouTube, right? Just start a channel for black men. Be a black woman who starts a channel for black men and reward them for simping. Like every time they simp, you kiss you wink at the screen, you make pretend you're about to do a nip slip. Listen, Simpcast, you're gonna get so many super chats, bro. They're gonna be like, just bend over, just show me a piece of the booty, like, cause it's YouTube, you can't really show them, but you can wear a thong. Like I'm telling you, some black girl needs to come up with this and steal it right now.
Yeah, it'll work. It'll work. It's kind of already lightweight happening in some areas, but I ain't got to get into that. But all right, let's roll it.
She's been accused of, notably filing privacy requests against people who talk about her past work. And so here we have the story from Chrissy Mayer. She says, Eliza Bleu got 4 of my YouTube videos removed for showing a fair and balanced doc trailer, which featured 3 to 5 seconds of her public, at the time now removed, world star hip hop video. Must be nice to have the power to rewrite history, then gaslight Twitter and YouTube into accepting it. Now, I'll say this outright. I said previously I'm uninterested in this. And I'll kind of, I think this got to the point where literally right before the show, I saw this tweet and I'm like, okay, guys, you got me. All right. Like I'm starting to see and learn more. That's having me question what's going on if YouTube videos are getting pulled. And we're hearing that a bunch of people actually had YouTube videos getting pulled. And so this clearly isn't a.
Hold on real quick. Marby, thank you for that $5 Cash App you sent a while back. I forgot to acknowledge and shout out that when you sent the Cash App. I've always forget the Cash Apps. Appreciate the people that send the Cash Apps. Let me check it real quick. Sorry to interrupt, but when shit is on my mind, I gotta remember it. Gotta throw it out there. But because somebody else sent one as well, so thank you to oh no, that's Long Tongue Song from yesterday. He sent $10 Cash App yesterday, and Marby sent a $5 Cash App today. So all right, cool. Thank you for the Cash Apps. Do appreciate the people that support on the Cash App end. All right, back to it.
Abuse of the system to a degree that we've not seen for a while now. It used to be in the early days of YouTube, there were attempts by political rivals to falsely flag and get people's content removed. And now it seems like we're seeing an uptick in this, particularly pertaining to Eliza Bleu. The first thing I'll say is, as it pertains to the issues related to me personally, look, man, I say it a million times. I'm an arrogant shithead. And so don't come at me and yell at and scream in my face and think I'm going to bend the knee and do anything for you. And I will tell everybody right off the bat, we had this person on the show that I don't care too much about. I don't follow her career. I don't know much about her. And I don't handle booking. We've had her on the show 2 times. But all of a sudden we found ourselves inundated with, and I'm not saying, you guys got to be very careful, because when I said that there was a PR firm running like 50 accounts, everyone started claiming I called literally the millions of people who are watching these videos bots, and I never said that.
Yeah.
But we got some very gruesome, gruesome's maybe not the right word, but let's just say, people crossed the line with what they were sending to us and the images they were posting of people. Easiest way to get me to be like, I will not give you what you want. But here's what I have to say about this. There are a lot of people who are genuinely concerned about what we're seeing in terms of what Eliza Bleu's done and her past work. And there's a big difference between those people and the very few people I am directly criticizing. The people who are posting just really awful photos and videos, sending awful things to us. And I want to make sure that people understand, because there's still this here's what I said earlier. Following the Project Veritas stuff, following, obviously the Crowder Daily Wire stuff, following these Republicans getting shot, I'm reading this. I have a source contact me. They say, we want you to read this letter, check this out. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to publish this. And I'm reading this and I'm like, yo, if all of this bad stuff is happening right now to various organizations and everyone's fighting with each other, yeah, that's it. Like infiltrate, destroy, right? You make divide and conquer. Yeah, I'm not going to be all about that, right? So I said outright to Jeremy Hambley of the Quartering, look, I apologize. I don't want to be fighting with you. We agree on way too much for me to be big.
Okay, there we go.
No, even the people, he says people were sending him like, really, really disgusting photos. I mean, unless they were sending you like battlefield images, I don't know what photos of Eliza Bleu could have been that horrible. Like, I mean, was she doing like XXX porn? And those are the photos they sent you? Like, what photos did they send about Eliza Bleu that were so bad? Because the thing is, even those people who sent you those pictures that you say were so horrible, they were right too. End of. The people who sent you those photos that who you now feel like you still have some kind of right to talk shit about, no, they were right too. They were all on the right side, and now here you come late to the party trying to be on the right side. No. The people who you hate the most were actually right.
Yeah. Agreed.
Bickering or complaining about something that is like one issue where, you know, ultimately probably agree mostly on it, but there's like a personal issue that's making, you know, me upset or something like that. When I'm looking at, we have another story we'll talk about in a minute, a woman saying that she used to work in gender affirmation for children, and now she's realizing how bad it is. I'm like, there's a lot more things that we all agree on that we need to be focused on.
What is gender affirmation for children? Is that what it? That's like some trans stuff.
Well, let me ask you a question. Yeah. What does it sound like? Like, just think it through before I give you the real definition. I bet you got it without even trying.
It sounds like gender affirmation. It sounds like basically telling them it's okay to be trans. Like if you're a boy that feels like you're a girl, and that's okay. Like they're giving them positive affirmations that it's okay that you feel like a girl because you are a girl. I think that's what I'm assuming it is.
It's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right. Yeah, you're good at this now. You don't need me.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, hold on. Let me back up and hear how he said it, because I think he said he realized something was wrong with it. Hold on.
That or something like that. When I'm looking at, we have another story we'll talk about in a minute. A woman saying that she used to work in gender affirmation for children, and now she's realizing how bad it is. I'm like, there's a lot more things that
she used to work in gender affirmation for children. Like how, like that's why I get confused with some of it. It's like she used to work in it. Like there's is it a department or a big building where that's what they do? Like I'm trying to figure out how does this work. It's like it sounds like a government funded agency that does this, and what do? They go to the schools, and
I mean,
I'm curious.
Do you really want to know?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Why do you? Where do you think the money is coming from to have all these people do like transgender? I did a video last year. There was a school like in Kentucky that got in hot water because they did a transgender lap dance. Well, not transgender. High school boys dressed up like a drag show and did like a drag lap dance for male staffers, like male school officials. So like, I don't know, a bunch of gym teachers and janitors or whatever.
Yeah,
but that happened. And these kinds of things are happening so often that you got to ask where the money is coming from. Like there is an organized effort to make this happen. And I'm not saying it's coming directly from the government. I think the proper term would be an NGO, a non-governmental organization. But there is definitely a bureau of Will Convert Your Children. Like there's definitely the agency of Will Convert Your Children. Somebody is running this agency. It's probably an office in San Francisco or something like that.
Interesting. Shout out to those that are super chatting. Let me get to this. I think I almost missed. Excuse me. Almost missed it. He says, "Nah, hood. She may be capping, but the real victims might have sent him stuff that's real, and they believe her." She may be capping, but the real victims may have sent him stuff that's real, and they believe her. I don't even get.
No, he's talking about when I was commenting on, so people sent you images that you didn't like. Like he's commenting on that particular comment I made. I mean, maybe you're right. Like, who knows what Tim was saying? I was just saying that if it was pictures of Eliza, what could be that bad? If it's anything outside of that, then who knows? All bets are off.
Yeah, you can send, yeah. Anybody can send anything. But anyway, Roddy Guy Podcast at the building says, hey, caught alive. Absolutely. Do appreciate you coming on through. Do appreciate you coming on through. I'm probably doing more night shows coming down the pipeline. So you'll probably be able to catch them live more frequently. But shout out to Roddy Guy. Do appreciate you. Do appreciate you. Let's dig back into it.
That we all agree on that we need to be focused on. My biggest concern with all of this is obviously censorship is bad, but if I'm going to get distracted and you know, personally aggrieved or whatever, and that means infighting will erupt that takes us off mission, we're being played. We're being played. And so I'll say this to you right now. When I came out with my video earlier and said exactly that, like, Jeremy, I shouldn't be fighting with you. I shouldn't be, like that. That's not what we should be doing. That's not what I should be doing. So I apologize. Jeremy put out a video saying he apologizes. I have tremendous respect for that, and I sincerely apologize. There are still people trying to drum up this infighting, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. When all this starts, and I'm this guy who's sitting here like, look, man, I don't know anything about.
What's that?
I said white YouTube is so polite sometimes, but you know, you guys are really nice to each other. Even when you be hating each other, y'all be nice to each other. It's so cute.
Yeah, I don't even get what he's talking about when he's saying infighting. Like, well, who is the infighting exactly? I don't even get the infighting.
Well,
aspect of it.
he was referring to like the larger conservative. He's not conservative, but people label him that way sometimes. So he was talking about the larger sort of right-leaning media ecosystem where like we all kind of we are all upset about the same kinds of things. So that makes us a team, and it doesn't help the team for us to be fighting each other over this little blue-haired bitch.
That sounds like another tactic to get people not to shut up, don't criticize.
Yeah. He's trying to really like take the bitch way out, but you know, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and look, and I'm all for people not, you know, eating each other. Like I talked about recently on the show, like you know, well, on the last show that I did, it's on members. I'll probably put it on Patreon too. I'll be forgetting to put stuff on Patreon because it's just one click to put it on members, but I got to upload it and do some weird stuff to it to put it on Patreon. Patreon kind of weird, but anyway, I talked about how it was a lot of people in this space after Abba and Preach basically went in on Donovan Sharp over some stuff that everybody already knew. Then a lot of people, you know, Black Manosphere, White Manosphere, made videos on it, and I'm like, y'all already knew all the stuff that they exposed, air quotes exposed. So y'all kind of just being sharks in the water just because it's trending. It's like, so I understand it from that perspective. But he's making that argument in a self-serving way. Just I need everybody to shut up and not acknowledge anything. That's what he's doing. Even though I understand, but hold on. But see, here's the deal. He's not exactly, you know, he's more left leaning, as you said. Now, if he leans more left, and then he do some stuff where he's kind of like trying to spray perfume or cologne over some shit that people on the left do, that somebody on the left did that was connected to him, it do make sense that conservatives is going to ride hard against him. And then so he's trying to pull the, hey, we all brothers, don't eat your own, don't do that, you know. But like, no, they got grounds to criticize. But Jackie Jack in the building says it wasn't pictures of Eliza. Okay. All right. So yeah, some people will send some random bullshit. Yeah, I can see that. This is the internet.
About her. We booked her on the show because she's on Twitter and she's a prominent activist. I didn't know that people had beef with her, and I don't know what that beef is. We get people sending us.
People didn't have beef with her. They recently just unearthed some shit about her. They put it out there, and then she started flagging, and that's the beef. It's no like long-standing, unconnected beef.
Let me just say, like, photos and videos that I just think would make a dad, you know, like if a dad found out people are doing about his daughter, he'd end up in jail, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So you want to come at me and my friends with these really horrifying things, and I'm going to be like outright not getting anywhere near this. But I genuinely and legitimately understand that's not most people. So I hope all of you understand that there are people still right now trying to get us to keep fighting. I'm not going to do it. I will outright say, especially upon seeing Chrissy Mayer get her videos taken down, I'm absolutely wrong about that. I was personally slighted, and that put blinders on me. I don't want to fight with anybody. I will keep being an arrogant shithead, and I will say that. But I also recognize we shouldn't be fighting if we can avoid it, and we can focus on things that are more important. So the only thing I can say, just one last thought, is please keep an eye out for those who are still in the chat right now, desperately trying to get me to get angry and to fight with you guys when I'm saying, no, wait, man, like, we need to come together on this.
Yeah, all right, real quick, Jackie.
See, I hate that's so gay, bro.
Tim is a fence center. What'd you say?
That's so gay, bro. Oh, we need to come together now. No, bro, admit you were wrong, and then we can hug it out. That's what we need. That is the only way to properly handle situations like that. Listen, sometimes people make a mistake. You fuck up, I fuck up, everybody fucks up here and there, right? But you can't be presented with all of the fallout of your fuck up and then be like, bro, we got to stop this fighting. This infighting is killing us. Like, no, nigga, we don't fight forever until you admit that you fucked up, and then we can hug it out and move on.
Right. But, shout out to Ride a Guy back in here again. Sent a $20 cash app. Do appreciate the $20 cash app. Appreciate your Ride a Guy in the building. Now you got actual clip of her on deck. So yeah, I'm going to get into that after.
We're flying closer to the sun here because she's really like hyper about her image. Apparently, I don't think you put it on screen, but she really put out a tweet redefining sex trafficking as "don't share my pictures that I put on the internet." Like, if she put a picture on the Instagram, you can't take her picture off Instagram and show it to other people on your YouTube channel. Otherwise, she's now a victim of a sex crime, and you should be put on a list. Like, bro, and the same woman is about to make a statement that you guys should hit the like button for. This next clip deserves 202 likes. If you could all like the video twice, I hope that's what you do. But just like the video at least one time, because this next clip is amazing.
All right, Carlo in the building with the $5 super chat says he may be scared. Him and the other guy have both been raided by SWAT during live stream, and given what happened to Tate, they could be next. Nah, they don't got nothing. Ain't no charges on them.
Nah, Tim does get SWAT. He does get pressure though. Like, as much of a they call him a milquetoast fence sitter. Like, that's literally the tag they put on Tim Pool, the milquetoast fence sitter, right? And he gets swatted all the time because he talks to people on the right. He has black conservatives, and he has guys like Jack Posobiec and people from the Trump campaign or whatever, and they called the police. They basically said he had like a dead body in his house, and so the feds, like the SWAT team, ran up in one of his shows live. I think they were talking about Andrew Tate, and he got swatted live on air.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. Yeah, I get that. I didn't know that he gets swatted. That's some bullshit, by the way, but yeah, if you're doing this and you're doing it big, it's in a place now where you gotta try not to give your location. You gotta try as hard as you can not to make sure your location is not out there, because anybody can just send anybody to your house at any time. At that point, now I'm trying to bring. Why don't that come up? Oh, there it is. All right, here we go. Let's
not even gonna give you any introduction. I don't want to. I want you to all just be curious about what this little pink-haired pixie is gonna tell you.
Mm-hmm.
This is great stuff, though. This is amazing, and she's a defender of children.
That the community and the child, if the child so desires to have intercourse with an adult, the parents, caregivers, and anyone that's, I mean, it's just what I just said. That would be up to if the child has desire, and if the community also decides that the person that they're supposed to have intercourse with is not using force, fraud, coercion, manipulation.
Why don't you have a seat there and get comfortable for that?
That the community.
Wait, hold on. What did I just hear?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what show that was. If somebody spliced in a clip. This is the type of shit I do when I used to make videos.
I know what show that show was To Catch a Predator.
Come on, I thought that was... No, I wasn't looking at the screen. My bad. I was looking at something else.
Yeah, that was Chris Hansen from Dateline. I used to watch that show. The show is messed up. I mean, okay. Yeah,
no, that was one of the best shows that ever came on TV, bro.
Yeah,
no cap.
Like
To Catch a Predator is...
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they took that show off the air for like, I think for a reason. I feel like Chris Hansen probably like low key caught a couple of people he wasn't supposed to catch, and they had to get that nigga up out of there. But that show was ill, bro. If you really think about it, he's like, so you have candy and condoms in the trunk of your car right now. What were you going to do with these candy and these condoms, sir? It's like, well, I was going to make water balloon animals.
And then he pull out the paperwork. Well, no, actually, I see your messages. And what you thought was a 14-year-old girl said she wanted you to stick the candy up her butthole. Did you come here to stick that candy in a 14-year-old girl's anus? No. I swear, I was gonna make water balloons and like that. That show was hilarious. And it's so funny because okay, they was catching some bad dudes. Okay, fine. But at the same time, I was like, these men are being set up. I was like, it wasn't an actual 14-year-old. I was like, oh no. It was.
No, I think a lot of the cases did get thrown out probably for entrapment or something like that. I think legally he was on shaky ground. But even still, man, I don't care. Nah, you gotta take them out back and then just torque them up a little bit. You know, give them a rough ride or something. You know, give them that Freddie Gray ride or something. Throw them in the back of the van and don't secure them. Just drive all over town 50 miles per hour or something like that. You gotta do something.
That's what I felt like. They needed their ass whooped, but I was like, legally, I don't know if this show is like legally in good on solid grounds when somebody. With somebody who you know got an affliction. let me just wave all this crack in front of this crackhead and try to lower them in the house and say, okay, have a seat. I was like, oh, they got him. But at the end of the day, they were catching predators, and if it was a real girl that was if it was a real teenage girl that was enticing them on the internet, and they showed up with the water balloons and candy and pixie dust or whatever she asked them to bring, they ass showed up with it. So, and that was how they caught him too, because where he couldn't say that he couldn't lie and say he showed up for a different reason, because the messages said, she said, hey, bring some rope, some bubble gum, some condoms, and something very weird and specific, to where it's like he couldn't
Tickle Me Elmo doll or something. It's like you brought a whole she asked you to bring a Tickle Me Elmo, and you brought the Tickle Me Elmo. Were you gonna tickle Elmo together? Like, it was such a weird show, bro.
Yeah, it was so weird.
The best TV ever.
They had dudes showing up with weird stuff in hand. They're like, we went, and then after they, and by the way, it was funny because it used to be a crew waiting outside, to where even if he tried to run, then he got tackled by a crew of people.
Goldberg tackled him. They hit him with the Goldberg. As soon as he tried to run, it was a big 250-pound sheriff outside just waiting, just boom, get down. Yo, that was the best. I missed that show, bro. I don't know how. I never knew how much I missed it until we started talking about it.
Yeah, no, I used to watch that show. Then they would go out to the trunk and like lift open the trunk of his car, and we see here, right, like it said in the messages, there's the water hose, the Tickle Me Elbow doll, the bubble gum, and the condoms. He brought everything that we listed. So clearly, he came
Oh my God, it was so crazy. And then this one dude, somebody in the chat said this. They stopped the show after one guy killed himself, and I feel like the circle was complete after that. I feel like
Yeah.
after that happened, the circle was complete. Yeah, bro. Like you got no good comebacks after that, bro. It's not like some girl said you did something, right? You know how that could go anyway. She could be lying. You could be lying. You could have really had sex, but then she got mad after the fact. Like, who knows? This is just every little piece of evidence we could compile, and then we get the guy in the girl's house. By the way, he thinks he's showing up to a girl's house. Oh my God, you couldn't beat
hold
that.
on.
That was the best journalism ever.
Here's the killing part is when they walk up to the door, just in case they had any hesitation where they was probably going to turn around, they would have
She opened the door.
they would have a 14-year-old looking grown woman, a little bitty grown woman that looked like a 14-year-old, speaking in a kid voice. Hi, just come on in. And she turned around, just in case he was about to, just in case he was about to take one step out of his car and turn around and run. Like, no, I'm out of here. They would put a 14. They would take a grown woman, put her in pigtails, and have her on the front porch. Guy, come on in. That's why I'm like, yeah, just waving crack in front of a crackhead.
It did. This is how evil it was, like on a certain level, because she's an adult. So she would be wearing some kind of skimpy, or she would answer the door like, "Oh wait, I was just about to get in the shower. Can you just hang out in the kitchen for a second? I'll be right back." And she's got a towel on the whole time. And she goes upstairs, and then Chris Hansen comes down like he's her dad or something.
Yeah, have a seat right there. Have a seat. Yeah, just have a seat. Don't worry about who I am. Just have a seat. Just have a seat. And then once he interrogate him for so long, then he was like, then the camera crew come out. Oh man, that show was the worst. Yeah, I'm surprised there's only one suicide that came after that show. They got you on Dateline. They got you
right. I
caught
expected more suicides.
It's a miracle that only one suicide came from that show. Oh man. All right, I didn't miss what the hell she said, but
Well, basically, she was saying if the kid consents and the community consents, and we all agree that this guy who wants to be with this kid is not a creep somehow, then it's all right to do that thing with kids, the lambada.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're talking about the forbidden dance with children. Start the clip over. Yeah. That's why I said I didn't want to build it up at all. I wanted you to just watch it and let it wash over you. And then somehow we started talking about Dateline and Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
That the community and the child, if the child so desires to have intercourse with an adult, the parents, caregivers, and anyone it's just what I just said. That would be up to if the child has desire, and if the community also decides that the person that they're supposed to have intercourse with is not using force, fraud, coercion, manipulation.
Why don't you have a seat there and get comfortable from that?
That the community and the child, if the child.
Yeah, so she's literally saying that it's okay for a child to have sex with an adult as long as adults in her life approve it. That's basically
under the right conditions, basically. Like we have to pull out the checklist to make sure you're not some kind of creep. Make sure the kid is of sound mind and body, and then have at it, Hoss.
Yeah. But she's a sex trafficking advocate, but she's that's what she's on. That's what she's on.
Now when you say it like that, it sounds like she advocates for sex trafficking when you say it that way. Honestly, it sounds like she's standing in front of the little Mexican bus with all the windows boarded up. Like, come on, kids, get in. That sounds like Eliza. Now that we played this video, and you call her a sex trafficking advocate, I'm like, yeah, that's advocacy.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does certainly. Yeah, it does certainly sound like that. I hate to laugh, but that damn Catch a Predator, that was the most unintentionally funny show ever. 'Cause I don't even know if during the filming of that show if they knew how funny that shit was. I think they was completely just unaware that they had pure comedy gold when they was putting together that show.
I bet you that was like the best newsroom to work in at the time. Like everybody was high fiving and giggles and shit. That people just probably sitting at the laptop, like whoever's playing the 14-year-old girl, they were just sitting around like, watch this, watch this, watch this. I'm gonna tell them to bring me some ice cream. Watch, watch, watch. And then he types it in and they all start laughing and shit.
Yeah. Hoop jargon in the building. Hoop jargon in the building says the nervous cookie eating after surprise go. Yeah, it would always be cookies on the countertop. It's like you don't have a seat and have a cookie. It's basically like the cookie is making them comfortable or something. Like, won't you relax? Have some cookies and milk. Just sit down. Just relax.
Well, I mean, to be fair, in his mind, that's probably the best tasting thing he's gonna have for the next who knows how long. You better eat as many cookies as you can stuff down, nigga. It's gonna get dark after this.
Oh man. But all right, I think we done beat this one pretty bad. I think we done beat this one pretty bad. But we joined by Ride of God.
Salute.
Building. What's going on?
Salute BR, salute hood, man. It's just crazy, man, because literally when I listen to stuff like this, I'm like, is it just me, man, or is this like end of the world, end of days type shit where you have people who will like go out on a platform and actually try to justify grown people sleeping with kids? I don't know if y'all seen this like recent kind of back and forth with Fantastic and Anton Daniels, where Anton Daniels called him.
Go ahead. I watched like 5 minutes of Fantastic going in on it. Somebody told me about it, and I watched 5 minutes of it right before the show. But you can go ahead and you got like some little hissing. Like
oh shit, my bad.
Your gain.
I'm on my headphones. That's weird. Let me turn down my volume. Maybe is this any better?
Volume?
Is this better? No.
Shit. It's still there. It's probably the gain.
Cause see, I'm on my laptop with the headphones plugged in the jack. There's no like mic right now.
Anything in the background at your house?
No. You know what? Maybe I just need to pop out and come back in.
Well, yeah, you could.
Change my headphone.
Yeah. Just try pulling the headsets out, and it went away. But you muted now. So yeah, when you
all right, is this better?
Go ahead.
Is this better? This good?
Yeah, but I'm just hearing an echo.
It's still an echo, Dad. Wow, I'm gonna drop out and come back.
Yeah, drop out and come back in.
All right.
Yeah, I was curious about that whole Anton thing. We was gonna take a little detour on that. We said somebody Free Zone Lou says Anton was bugging. He misrepresented Fantastic. Yeah, I was curious about that. But
yeah, I was on Fantastic for a hot second last night. I don't really watch Fight Club like that, but apparently Fantastic was over there, and a story about I don't even know the details of the story, but I guess some kid must have beat a sex charge, some kind of she lied on him apparently, something like that. I don't really know the details, so I'm not don't call me a liar, but basically they were talking about the whole age gap thing, and I think Fantastic was making an argument about like a dude who's like 19 and a girl who's 17, which is basically what Romeo and Juliet laws are kind of written about, and he was going off talking about that particular thing and explaining stuff about in that vein. And I think maybe some wires got crossed, somebody didn't understand, somehow or another accusations got made. Fantastic is like, ho, what the fuck are you coming at me like this for? And then they got into a moment, he got kicked off the panel, so he went and fired up his own stream. And that's when I came in, I was listening to like what happened. I was like, oh wow, that is kind of crazy. Because I wasn't there, so I didn't really comment on what happened between the two of them. But like the whole issue of let's just put it like age gaps was being discussed in the bigger picture, in the bigger sense of things.
Yeah. And that always runs into a gray area where somebody ends up wanting to be the hero in the conversation. Like, I mean, everybody can agree that when we're talking about kids and adults, like what Homegirl was just talking about, like everybody can agree when it come to that one. All right, we don't that's a definite no. I think everybody understands that gray area that happens when somebody makes it over the legal age of consent in, let's say, my home state, Michigan, where the legal age of consent is 16, but in some places it's 17. But then you got somebody in a place where it's 16, but the guy that she's dating, it was like 16 and 18, but he turned 19 before she turned 16. And it's like, yeah, that's a gray area because she about to turn 17. They both technically they right in the same age grain. Like they was in high school together. One was a senior, one was a sophomore. One was a freshman, one was a junior. It's a gray area there, and I think that's what they made the law for. But some people do like to jump in on that one. I mean, we all grown. We all either 40 or pushing 40, but we're giving our analysis of, the Romeo and Juliet law. There's no reason to charge nobody up with that one. There's no reason to charge nobody up with that one.
Exactly.
But when somebody 40 and they playing too close to the edge, when they 30 and playing too close to the edge, talking about 16 legal in Michigan, I'm not. It's like I legally in Michigan, I legally could holler at a 16-year-old. I'm not. It's like
exactly.
I'm not playing that close to the edge.
It just feels weird to even think about going that way. Like it's just something about it. And then that's the thing, though. And see, when when you have a frank conversation about this kind of stuff, people get really, really, really offended when you're just discussing like realities, like biologically, just the physicalities of it. There's nothing really wrong there, right? She's mature enough to have a baby, and a bunch of 16-year-olds do have babies, so that that is true. Morally, like, and we're as a culture, as a country, we all kind of accepted that as you kind of go down the age range and you get closer to that kind of 17, 16, like it becomes creepy for reasons that have nothing to do with biology.
Yeah, and I accept that. I accept the non-biological reasons why. Nah, that just ain't right. I'm good on that. But yeah, you strip human civilization, culture, and all that, and just throw us out in nature. Then yeah. I mean, but we don't live in a natural world anymore. We don't. This shit is unnatural the way we live. We sitting here on the internet miles apart talking to each other over some application and shit. Like everything about human existence is unnatural right now. So it's like, I don't even want to hear about the nature. I ain't messing with no 16-year-old. But there is a gray area with 18 and 16, 16 and 19.
Well,
but anyway, Rod,
I want to say real quick. Can I give a quick shout out to how old is Leonardo DiCaprio now? What is he, like 50? And he's got a 19-year-old.
48. He got him 48. He got him an 18-year-old.
19.
19.
Give her a credit.
19.
19. I'm sorry.
That 1 year make a difference.
I'm sorry. No,
She matured a lot. She matured a lot in that 1 year, and don't take her credit away from her. Is all I'm saying.
But that was the track. Oh, mic check.
Yeah. Oh, you good? You good?
All right,
yeah, you good, bro.
The phone, man. But yeah, that was a tragedy. My bad.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was about to say you probably could stand and turn it up a little bit now, but if you can't, that's no big deal.
Oh shit, that's as hard as it's going right now.
Okay, good. No, it's good. It's good.
Right,
it's good.
cool.
It's good.
Yeah, man, that was a tragedy of what happened with Fantastic and Anton Daniels. You know me, I fuck with Fantastic from day one. Anton Daniels, I have a lot of respect for him. But he definitely went straight toward the pizza gate. The cheese pizza accusation, the P word. And the P word is what this lady is talking about. It's about adults with children. It's not about these inappropriate disproportionate in terms of maturity relationships between older young men and teenagers. I agree with Anton, and I don't even think Fantastic was disagreeing with it in terms of at a certain age, you shouldn't be looking at, if you're not in high school, you really shouldn't be looking at high school girls. To be honest, you go off to college, you get college age. There's plenty of college women who, there's plenty of college women out there. Let them girls, be with the boys. And I know just because those girls like to get with older boys, that don't mean that that's something that we should change like the laws in society to facilitate. It's like, no.
if they not 18, just leave them alone. It's 1 year. Look at Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like me. I was 30 something. I dated a 19-year-old, it's like she was old enough. She was mature enough. Hey, it's fair game. But if she's 17, yeah, it may be just 2 years, but fuck out of here. I want no parts of it. And to be honest, I'll never date somebody that young again. And to be honest, she lied. She told me she was 23, but I didn't break up with him when the truth came out either. So, that was the tragedy of it, because he went straight to the P word. And it's like, dude, this only reason why I brought that up with this topic is this right here. This lady, what she's espousing is P word type shit. It's not these little, like, perhaps unethical, gross, creepy, pervy type. If he would have said the perv word, I'd been all right. But to go to the P is like, bruh, man, that is a huge slander, man. And it should be reserved for shit like this.
Yeah, no, agreed. Free Zone Lou, you had said something in the chat room that you had an opinion on that. I think you probably was at Ground Zero, saw it all, so you can go ahead and give your take on that.
Well, I mean, Hood pretty much hit it on the head. Two things noteworthy, as Radagas said. It was Anton basically calling the panel a group of peas. And then after that, going into like a diatribe. Well, they were talking about the 2-year difference, and then Anton came on and added another 2 years. So instead of 19 and 17, it was 21 and 17. And went to this thing about 21-year-olds coming to the high school to pick up, to to drop the 17-year-old off, and that's where it kind of got weird. But the other very telling part of the whole thing was that he kept invoking his children into the situation. Like, I wish somebody over 20 would try to holler at my daughters, and I got a kid, and these my babies. That's when it kind of went off the rail and got weird and stuff. It got super weird after that. And people on this panel were like, yo, that's not even what we were talking about. And he's like, I don't care what y'all were talking about. It's like, nigga, like, bruh, like, there was a context. There
Yeah, I literally had
talking about something that had nothing to really do with what they were talking about.
Yeah, it was so out of left field. I literally had to like go back and rewind and like listen to it over and over again. Like, where did this come from? Like, what the hell? And then I could kind of hear what was going on. But yeah, it was a weird situation.
Mm-hmm. Right on. Free Zone, you got some kind of background noise. But anyway, I don't know if y'all got more to say on that. Well, I don't. I guess the last thing on that. What did Fantastic say? Because apparently he got dropped down, so he went on his channel and he had some things to say, I presume.
Yeah, so basically it was this one dude came up quick. Long story quick. That a dude came up saying that he had a relative who was 21 and dating a 17-year-old, and he was courting her. The family approved because he was going to marry her. When she got of age, he broke up with her.
What was the age difference?
21 and 17.
Okay.
So when she got of age, they hadn't got engaged and everything, but then he broke up with her a year later, married somebody else. So the family went and pressed charges on the dude. As statutory. And so then Fantastic was saying, well, not like, look at it like this though. Look at it like if you in high school and you like y'all started dating when you was a senior and she was maybe like a junior or a sophomore, and then you done graduated, and he was bringing up the Robin Hood, the Romeo and Juliet laws to get black men. So black men basically don't get caught up, because the whole topic of the show was about some black athletes who had got exonerated of some false grapes charges. So that was the context that Fantastic brought in. But then he mentioned a LGBTQ law that says that it could be 10 years apart in the state of California. And he was like, that's messed up. Like, look, these LGBTQ can be 24 messing with a 14-year-old. But look at the way it is for straight men. And then I think Anton heard 14-year-old. I don't know what Anton was on, to be honest, but he came in and was like, y'all talking about 14-year-olds, y'all talking about Romeo and Juliet, like y'all, cheese pizza eaters. And then Fantastic was like, wait, hold on. Like, who the hell you? Because he called him a P word. So Fantastic was like, yo, hold up. What the fuck you mean? Like, and as soon as Fantastic pushed back, Anton dropped him. So then, there was no way for them to have the discussion. Fantastic, when he did his own live, and on his own live, he was just basically pointing out that everything he was saying was factual about the Romeo and Juliet, and that he wasn't trying to co-sign on the 21 and 17 type of situation. He was just pointing out that, on topic with that show, young black boys, because even at 19, let's get a boy, you still like a boy, can get hemmed up over dating girls that's a couple of years younger than them. And you can come down either side of that. For me, and the situation you're living in as a man, we live in this nation, bro. We see what era, this is the post-Me Too era. If you will play those types of games, then you get those types of prizes, bro. I'm not fucking with it. But I get the principle that Fantastic was standing on.
Right on. Yeah, I hear that. And look, that happened in this space. Like it's to a point where we gotta be careful and walk on eggshells when it comes to just talking about. We can't even have a conversation about it because somebody gonna spin it some way, somebody gonna take it some way. I was already told that I was likely going to get clipped for something I said here already. That's what somebody had put in the chat. Like, they gonna clip you. So it's like, yeah. So yeah, it sound like just from the outside looking in, it sounded like Anton heard some buzzwords and then just went off.
Triggered.
Just went off, and that's something that happened. That's something that happened all the time. We real quick to charge each other up without really listening. But
what they call them, daughter niggas. Like, them daughter niggas always overly sick. I don't think it was, but I get it.
But I get it too, man. I get it too. You hear certain stuff and you just you go into a different mode because it's your kids and stuff. But when you have people trying to tell you what was the actual conversation and your response to that is I don't care, then it's like, all right, cool. We just out the window with it.
No, it's interesting. You guys are telling me the backstory about apparently it was a teenager or teenage couple, and he was going to marry the girl, and he decided not to for whatever reason. When I got on Fantastic's panel, I was kind of explaining how before feminism and all this goofy stuff, the way people sort of handle that situation with like teenagers are going to have sex or whatever, the shotgun wedding was a thing, right? And the concept of it is that all right, fine, we don't want you having sex, but if you're going to have sex, you have to marry her. That's the only way that you can give this thing any kind of cover is you have to get married, and you have to now. This woman belongs to you now. You got to take care of her. That's what the deal was. You got to provide and take care of this woman and whatever kids come from that, right? And so it's ironic that I was explaining that on Fantastic's panel, and you guys tell me that the actual story was literally that nope, you've been having sex with my daughter all this time, and you decided not to marry her. Yeah, we're gonna get the law on you. Exactly. That's actually old school if you think about it.
Yeah, you made great points when you came up on the panel, because that's the truth, man. It's like, it's one thing if you're talking about, yo, this is crazy. It's just a couple of years, but it's a couple of years for you to just fuck on something, or are you talking about being serious and you like involved with the parents and you done made, certain promises? Then you need to, you need to, stick to that. You can't go and, if it's an age disparity, man, don't be lying to get the draws, bro. I mean, wait till she's 18 if you're gonna manipulate her to get the draws. Like, this is just dumb shit. If you're gonna play with that type of fire, like, what do you expect? And like you were saying, back in the day when older men married younger girls, were getting with younger girls, it was to take care of them, to take them on as wives. And we always talking about the family and the nuclear family and community. Well, then we shouldn't really be, and we need to be, I should say, cognizant of the fact that we don't spread, we're not espousing something that is like about fucking on somebody younger, Now, marrying somebody younger is totally different.
Yeah, see, this is my my thoughts on that though. If a guy, if he pulled back after 2 years and decided not to marry her, but the parents did give consent. He decided not to marry her. Now, if that was his plan from the start, all right, he wrong. All right, he dead goddamn wrong. But it is kind of like you can't. They are like kind of retroactively putting some
Definitely.
they are retroactively putting some statutory rape charges on the man for some stuff that they did agree to. But he didn't follow through with the marriage, so nah.
And I don't blame him. I would have did the same fucking thing.
This is not even about the sex at this point. It's not even about that. This is a simple contract dispute.
Exactly.
What he did was dishonorable, but like, what do he deserve? How many years in prison you get for statutory?
Right, he got off on the charge.
Right, you shouldn't go to jail at all for this.
If I let you court my daughter, and in this day and age where all of the fuck shit going on in this community, I let you court my daughter on the promise that you're gonna marry her, and you actually propose, and we moving toward that, and then you fuck around and break up with her and marry another chick a year later, you got me fucked up.
Yeah, the family was supposed to whip that nigga ass, though. That's what was supposed to happen.
Right.
Y'all didn't want to keep it gangster.
My thing, I'm curious as to why did he break it up? Did he break it up? I mean, because it could have been some infidelity on her part. You know what I mean?
I was thinking that.
No,
too.
it was nothing like that. They never, because he would have brought that up. That's a major point. He was like, I don't know why they broke. You know why he broke it out? He got that pussy and he was done. Like, nah.
Yeah, but he wanted
He broke out because the pussy was trash.
Yeah, it was 3-year-old, 4-year-old pussy. I want new pussy.
I think it was like, I can't do this for the rest of my life.
And then turn right around and marry somebody else. Nah, bro. I would put them people in like too. Not gonna lie.
I feel like as on the parent side, I understand the grievance, but I can't co-sign it. I can't co-sign it, but I understand the grievance.
I can't co-sign. Hold on, wait, real quick. I got you, Azrael, but I can't co-sign that man being locked up, but I can co-sign an ass whooping. So
I agree.
Okay,
a shotgun to the head. A shotgun to the head, right? Maybe that.
Yeah.
But let me say this though. This is where Anton truly irked me with that, because okay, we can come to the consensus fine if you have an issue with 2-year age gap dating or 3-year age gap dating, I'll hand it to you. But here's my thing: we have to have the same kind of vantage point. We have to have the same kind of energy for when it's the reverse. Prime example: Chief Keef got a grown ass woman pregnant. He was 15, 16. He got a grown ass woman pregnant when she was like 25. As soon as he came of age, she put him on child support. No one said anything. I remember when I first heard that.
Wow.
Tommy Sotomayor came out with that news, and that was back in the day. Chief Keef was like, when Chief Keef was popping and whatnot, that was like my senior year, first year college days, right? Now, my thing is with this is the thing about the Black community. We take and leave what we want. We want to put out, it's about the children. It's like, no, we're matriarchy and we want to uphold the values for fast ass women. A lot of the times, and I'll give you a prime example. When Rebecca Lynn Pope made that video about the average at best woman, she was like, this poor young girl, and it's like this woman is going on almost 40 years. Now my thing is this: if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. I can't tell you how many times, like, I used to work in retail, and if you work in retail, the age range will vary. You could have girls in there from 16 all the way to 21. Now I was 21. There were girls younger than me and older than me trying to hit on me, and it was the same for other dudes in there. It wasn't now if you got caught trying to talk to any of these girls, that's on your ass, right? Now and here's the thing: there were guys that would go for that bait. Me, I'm like, if you're not legal enough to vote, I'm not touching you at all. But here's my thing: we have to acknowledge this whole this narrative that these men are just out here being predators, and it's like we leave our boys to the dust. I'm not with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Real quick, for anybody responding what Azrael said, Christian Hutchins in the building says my girlfriend in high school was 19 months younger than me and 1 grade below. When I turned 18, my dad met with her dad and asked for permission in writing. Good man.
Whoa, that's what's up.
Good man. That was smart. That was smart. Yeah. Shout out, kudos to your dad. Kudos to your dad for getting ahead of that one. But no, thank you for that super chat. Do appreciate that. Anybody wanted to jump in on?
And that's the type of shit we should be teaching men. That's the type that message from Christian is what we should say. Not that it's wrong. We need to change the law so we can be right. No, tell men this, man. That's the type of stuff we should be, promoting.
No, yeah, no doubt.
You know what annoys me too? It annoys people act as though they weren't in high school and they didn't know girls that were dating like dudes that were like 19, 20 and they were 14 years old. They were losing their virginity to dudes that were 21. You know what I mean?
Well, wait, what difference did that make to the conversation though? Like that,
no,
like what you just described. Hold on, wait, what you just described was wrong. You said 20 and 14.
No, let me. What I'm saying is they've tried to make it seem as though these girls are just out here. Oh, they're getting taken advantage of. Like these girls, when I was young, they were not trying. If you were the same age as the average girl in high school, they weren't trying to date no kids their age. They were pursuing dudes. Now what I'm saying is, yes, those dudes were wrong for doing that. But we also have to acknowledge these girls are going out here trying to look for older cats. They were like, oh, this dude, you don't got a car. This what I'm saying?
Well, it's a weird. I agree with you that it's a weird place where you could see that there's definitely like some 15-year-old girls who be wanting to mess with,
they're wrong on both ends,
damn near grown, 18, 19, or even 20-year-olds. Yeah, like that exists. But to me, I understand that it's hard to look at them as full-blown victims when you see how they operating. But at the same time, even if you don't see them as the victims that they try to make it out to be, the guy is still wrong. So it's like,
no, absolutely, I agree.
That's why I don't like to. That's why I don't even like to go down that route.
No, I do want to devil's advocate.
Can I just say this one
bit.
thing? Let me just say this to one more thing, because I see myself still as a young person, and I remember like girls would cut because I'm 20, right? But I just remember in high school, I used to remember girls cutting class to go and go meet up with their older boyfriends. They used to cut school early to go meet up with their older boyfriends at their jobs. And so it's hard for me to like kind of see them as a victim. You know what I mean?
Let's just be blunt. No, let's be blunt about it. Young women are biologically wired they are attracted to older men. They don't want the boys their age. Like 14-year-old girls, if they had the choice between a 14-year-old boy and an 18-year-old boy who has a car and money and he can do shit, they go with the 18-year-old. It's a biological phenomenon. It's not just like, oh, he's bad and she's, I mean, like they're both guys creepy, like in our modern context, but the biology of it isn't any different because we don't live in the jungle anymore. And what I wanted to say about that whole thing is we all understand, oh, he's the man, so we should punish him. And I suppose that's okay, but I'm still uncomfortable with this idea that because it's a child and because it's a girl, you get to essentially commit fraud. You get to essentially commit acts of fraud that put this man in danger. And it's, we don't even look at you like you did anything wrong. Like I think as a society, we have a blind spot here.
I get what you're saying, but see, here's the thing. In a lot of other contexts, kids can get away with shit that adults can't. That's why the whole term
pride. We try kids for murder. We try kids for murder, bro. But a 14-year-old can lie, and it's all on you, though. But we can try children for murder, though. Like I think it's a weird, hazy line.
I was about to say that because okay, for example, we all know, we've heard stories in the hood. Hell, the reason that they start getting kids doing dirt out there real young is because it's like, hey, you just gonna go to juvie for a little bit. I'm gonna do 25 to life if I get caught doing this. You just gonna do a couple years in juvie. So that's why they start having kids do it, because they understood there was a difference between kids and grown people. But then eventually, kids start getting tried as adults. So I think, I'm trying to usher it into the place where, let's start trying these 14, 15-year-old girls as adults.
Yeah.
when they get in those situations. I understand the logic, but I don't know if that,
that's why you can't
understand the logic, but I just don't see I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it.
You can't
Here's the
move
larger
based
issue
on
that
law.
I mean, law is basically trying to enforce morality. Like that's what really laws attempt to do. Whatever your moral system is, your laws try to enforce those moralities. But I think the larger question of it is, women's freedom presents a lot of problems for men that we aren't really allowed to properly talk about. Because generally speaking, before this modern conception, it was perfectly fine that all right, she's 14. I got to figure out. It's about time for you to start figuring out how to get this girl married off. Like that's what people did 100 years ago with a young girl. Okay, you've hit maturity. I don't want to feed and clothe you forever. Some nigga got to marry you. Like that was the deal. And once we enter this modern world where now, maybe she can be a doctor, maybe she can be a lawyer, she can be a lesbian gym teacher. Like she has all these options instead of getting married, and it changes the game. And then all these questions come up now, and nobody knows what's the hard line anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say the part that gets weird about this whole thing too is they're selective on when they want to victimize kids, and at the same time they'll sit there and say that what a kid feels like is more important. Like they'll take a kid if a kid feels that he's a certain gender or a certain this or that, and the parents don't roll along with it, they'll take the kids away from the parents. But still, at the same time, they'll backdoor and turn around and say, if something happens to that same child because of an older man, then that kid is now a victim. So it's like, it's a very weird kind of thing. And that's what that's the thing that threw me off with Eliza when she was talking about, well, if a kid says whatever a kid says, it should just go. And the parents should just get along, ride along with it. Even if the kid ain't been here that long. It's all weird stuff to do.
Hold on, when you say that Eliza said whatever the kid says it should go, are you talking about that video clip that we played?
Yeah, the video clip.
No, the video clip that we played, she was saying that she's okay with it if all the adults. She said she's okay with the child being with an adult. Now she didn't put ages on it, but she said it's okay with she's okay with a child being with an adult as long as the parents agree to it. That's ultimately what she was saying, and that puts her in a contradiction because she's an advocate against sex trafficking. So it's like you understand she understands the gray area in one context, but in another context, if the man could be charged up, let's charge him up, lock him up. So that's where she runs into somewhat of a contradiction. But
right, I misunderstood that point. I got you though.
Yeah, it is a gray area. It is a gray area, and that's why, I try to draw hard lines just to get out of the gray on it.
Exactly.
I go hard with what's legal, and like even when they say what's legal, if legal age of consent is 16, I'm not even going to play that close to the line with 16.
Nope. What's the oldest youngest age of consent? If that makes sense.
Yeah. Somebody got Darth Vader breathing going on. I think that's Christian.
Oh, jeez. I feel attacked.
But go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll pass it to you. You got it.
Yeah. So following up on my super chat, I think what we need to do is we need to make sure that we tell, we have boys who are in this position or cousins or male family members. We should probably so this was the policy that my dad handed down to me. So I was dating a girl in high school, and he said, when I got out of high school, he said, okay, once y'all break up, there's no more high schoolers. There's no more under 18-year-olds. Like at this point, and that's why he went and got the letter in writing from her dad saying everything was cool. But then it was once we broke up, even though I was 19, it was don't go back to the 17-year-olds. The cutoff is 18 years old. And I think that's important that we just tell guys that's how you're going to have to operate. And yeah, when you're 19, it might be a little bit of a drought, but you just got to wait it out a year or two. And there'll be enough ages below you where if you're 20, you can go talk to 18-year-old and you'll be okay. I think that's just the best way to protect yourself from any sort of things that can happen. Because I had a really good buddy who he's a doctor now, but he got jammed up really bad in a situation that it was actually no fault of his own. The girl lied and misrepresented her age with a fake ID. She was at a college party, and and she was living like another family member.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then he didn't know it, but then after like a month or two, the family member she was staying told him he ceased contact, and then about a year or so later, when she moved back with the parents found out about the relationship, pressed charges, and the only thing that saved him from not going on the registry was the family member was living with basically proved that she presented him fake papers, a fake ID, and other stuff that he had no reason to believe that she otherwise wasn't the age she said she was.
And that's oh my bad.
But I mean, that delayed him going to med school like 3 years because
that's
he had
my point. It's like this is the type of thing in this space, in this day and age. That's what you tell men. It don't even matter what if her age, what if she lying about her age? That happened to me. Like, bro, you don't want to go off what she say. You don't even want to go off what the law say. Like, you go off what the law say in terms of bare minimum. If in some states it's 16 and other states it's 18, if one state got a 19, then 19 is as low as I'm going. That's where I'm covered, period.
Well, 18 is you'll be safe. You just
Right.
I think the manosphere policy should be that if you have an established relationship with the girl while you're under the age of 18, you can maintain that relationship with permission of her parents that you get in writing. Get it in writing, videotape, notarize it, whatever you got to do. Make sure you get that. But then once that relationship ends, don't go back below the age of 18 again. And that's
Christian.
Yep.
Christian, we're inching our way back to the good old days of just how about the parents negotiate the relationship between the kids, and then they just get married off before high school. Let's speed this shit up so we can get right back to where we started.
Exactly.
Well, if it comes, I actually don't have an issue with that concept in the big scheme of things. But the parents being involved with stuff like that. But if the thing is, we're trying to keep guys out of jail. We're trying to keep guys out of jail or keep their lives from getting derailed. So it's like, what can they do to protect themselves? Just like those guys down at Ohio State who just got off of those charges this week. The thing that saved them was they got her on videotape saying that she was cool with everything. So again, guys need to be coached that they need to be.
That happens a lot,
But this is the thing. The goal is you don't want to have a problem. So you want to get consent. You want to get evidence of consent. That means videotape. That means tape recording. That means you're never going to be able to prove consent throughout the whole situation. You'll never be able to prove that, but text messages afterwards that she had fun and she wants to see you, like all those sort of things we've seen in the last 2-3 years. Those sort of documentation has exonerated guys who've been in really bad situations. Like you had the one guy at University of Wisconsin. That's how he got off. That's how he was acquitted. These guys now at Ohio State, same thing. I mean, you just have to get your. I mean, there's a million ways to communicate. You just have to get it documented.
I mean, I think
battery down.
What's kind of being unsaid here is all of these sexual protections are basically to protect women, and there's no protection for men. Men have no sexual integrity rights. There's this constant. I mean, this is running theme, and it's mostly like about college kids because that's where it probably happens the most. But he was drunk, she was drunk, she couldn't consent, and now he's guilty. And it's like, wait, well, if she's drunk and she can't consent, how come he's drunk and he's consent? Like, it just puts all the weight on men. And there's just something I don't like about this whole dynamic of everything we talk about, like all the sexual taboo. It's only the men are wrong.
You know what? That's all fine. I get what you're saying, but when you start talking about you're going to do 5 to 20 years in prison, okay, this isn't the time to say this isn't fair. Right? It's about what do you need to do to protect yourself. I mean, the stakes are very high. You engage with a.
Oh yeah, I'm not going against that.
No, no,
I'm on your side. I'm totally on your
wait,
side.
time out. Both of those could happen at the same time. Given the current law, what do you do to protect yourself? But then there's still such thing as being a voice to advocate against the bullshit, to put it out there, to get it more in the mind of more people that this is some bullshit, but at the same time, this is what you do to make sure that you don't get caught up by the current bullshit. But so yeah, both of those things could happen at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
But there are people that are dumb enough to say it's some bullshit that it's illegal to ride around with a dime bag of weed on the passenger seat of your car. So because that's some bullshit, I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah, those people are idiots. So if somebody's saying this law is some bullshit, I'm gonna do it anyway because it's bullshit. Like no. You got to advocate that it's bullshit while still obeying the rules and make sure you don't get locked up over it. But real quick,
I want to say
hold on, wait, I got you in a second, Azrael. But shout out to Little Big Nate too for posting that down there. He says subscribe to the Manosphere Meetup YouTube channel. Content coming soon. I just went and subscribed to it. There's no content over there, but the content is coming soon. So make sure you go over there and subscribe to the Manosphere Meetup YouTube channel. It will be content over there soon. Make sure you go and subscribe to that. All right, go ahead, Azrael. You got it.
No, I was gonna say it's interesting. Well, everybody's talking points. I was thinking about it. It's like we live in a country where a woman is, like, for example, 14 and she's dealing with like an 18-year-old. That's considered wicked and evil, right? But then at the same time, as a country, we're still okay with like young boys being like 12, 10, 11 being groomed to have their genitals mutilated and stuff like that, or to be having a sex change. You understand what I'm saying? It's just it's an interesting time that we live in America.
Hold on, wait, back up. What are you saying?
In other words, people are okay with a Zaira Wade where he's being groomed to act like a woman and be like a woman and have their people are pushing for young boys to have their genitals cut off and whatnot and having sex changes. Everybody's cool with that. Whereas like the moment you say like, hey, you're 19, you're dating a 17-year-old, like dudes just lose their mind. It's an interesting thing where America is going. That's more or less what I was trying to make a comparison of.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. And what I like to do, I like to catch the same exact person in contradiction on stuff like that. They'll in one breath, a kid is at 12 years old is old enough to determine his sex, but you're going to basically say this 16-year-old dating a 19-year-old, no way she could make a conscious decision that she wanted to have sex with this 19-year-old. So they do run into a contradiction with that. So no doubt. But all right. Let's see. We didn't covered all angles roundabout on this. I don't know if anybody got anything we say we could damn near do closing thoughts before we
I just want to say, like I said, if it has to be reconciliation on both sides. I have family members I know personally. They were teenagers and they were dealing with their mom's friends. Let's just say that, right? And these were grown women and they were like 15 or 16. So my thing is this: if we're gonna raise hell for our quote unquote girls, we have to raise hell for our boys as well. And we've seen so many times of young Black men being groomed by women. Even you've had I don't want to go into this, but there have been dating coaches that said they lost their virginity to a woman that was older than them and they were lesbian and whatnot. So imagine if that was the opposite way around, where a man was of the LGBTQ community and he was of some kind of deviant kind of a lifestyle and he was taking the virginity of young boys or women, like all hell will be raised loose, right? So I just want to say we have to, if we're gonna go hard for one gender, we got to go hard for the other, especially in this space. Catch you later. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Go ahead, Christian Hudson. Got any final words before we make it up out of here?
Yeah, guys, just make sure you're telling men in your family to protect themselves with how these laws are written. There's too much at stake. So they need to take all precautions they need to protect themselves, because this is not a thing you get a do-over on. So this is something that when they're in the situation, they got to get it right. This is like when you got the police when you're pulled over by the police and the situation is escalating and he's reaching for his gun. Your kid has to know how to react in this situation to make sure that they get a positive outcome. And this is when they're dealing with women in this sort of situation, the same exact thing. They can't get it wrong. So, do what you have to make sure they understand what they need to do.
Right on. Good stuff. Hood Conservative in the building. You got the floor. You got the mic for the last words. I think you're going live too, right? In a little bit.
Yeah, I'm actually I was just like I said, I was gonna do this story on my channel, but we kind of crossed wires this morning. I wasn't sure if you were going on yet, so once we spoke, I said, "Oh, we'll just have it out over here." And I'm still gonna go live with the Eliza Bleu story. There's one or two angles to the story that I kind of held back, so I'm gonna talk about this on my channel. And once you finish up over here, I'm gonna start up on it. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into this Eliza Bleu story. There's one little piece of evidence that we haven't dropped yet.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, are you going right after we get off here?
I'm waiting for you to wrap up. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat in a second. I'm already
go ahead. I'm wrapping up right now. So if you got the link, go ahead and drop it. You got the link. Go ahead.
I'm gonna get on that now. But thanks for having me up. It's been another good Saturday show, and who knows what we're gonna talk about next week. But tune in. We're gonna get a little bit deeper with this Eliza Bleu story. I got something that you're gonna be surprised to hear. I was like, oh, she really got some nerve. I can't believe she really going this ham, and people are just like, just finding all the dirt. Like, just stop already. Just stop. But come see on my channel. Come check us out. And let me pull up the link right now, and I'm out of here, y'all.
All right, that's the link to the channel, y'all. Y'all obviously already most of y'all should be subscribed to it. Y'all should be subscribed to it. I think you're putting the link to the actual. You about to drop the link to the actual video, right? If you're dropping the link to the actual video, you can drop that right on in there. But, all right. So go ahead and get that ready. But shout out to everybody in the building who supported the stream. Everybody who supported the stream, appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Rod of God, came through on the Cash App end. Shout out to Marby, who came through on the Cash App end. Shout out to everybody who super chatted. And don't just click off of the stream. Click that link right there. Let that be your exit. Let that be the door. Let that be your door that you walk out of right there. That link right there. Click on that when you get up out of here. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everybody who came through, everybody who liked, shared, subscribed, super chatted, Cash App, did anything to support the stream. And with that said, we out of here. Peace. We gone.